what I'm telling you about my daughter happened before I saw Jesus. What I'm telling you about my daughter happened before I saw Jesus. That's before I even saw Jesus. So, anyway, so that Bible I told you about that the missionaries brought to my door, I sent somebody for that. I sent somebody for that Bible at home, and they brought it back to me. And I started reading inside of that Bible. And one of the things I saw in that Bible, it talked about adultery. It talked about certain things. I will kill your children. That's what I'm saying. All these side chicks and all this kind of stuff, they think this is the cutest little thing when they running around, messing around with people's husbands and spouses. And when people are separated, they are still married. Let me throw that in there, y'all. When people are married, separated, they are still married. So I was reading that part, and I had to look within myself to see why we were in the hospital. You got to tell yourself the truth, honey. If you don't tell yourself the truth, you're going to get down to the bottom of nothing. You're just going to stay in your same rut by you sitting around lying about being depressed, lying about what you are and what you're not doing, lying about this, lying about that. The truth will set you free, baby. Believe me, the truth will set you free. All you got to do is tell yourself the truth. If you can't tell nobody else the truth, tell yourself the truth first. Practice right there. Tell yourself the truth about things. So, I'm not afraid to admit wrong from my past and to talk to God and say, wow. I'm going to tell you what people are mad at right now. They mad because he's still using me. Can we laugh about that? Can any of y'all put a laughing emoji right there when y'all should not be blessed, but you're blessed anyway because God blessed you anyway? I tell you, I could just laugh my tail off, honey, because, anyway, yeah, blessed anyway. Any of y'all write that? Blessed anyway. Blessed anyway. Blessed anyway. Whoo wee. Hey, Casey. Yeah. So I didn't see Jesus until a year later, when I was really sick. By that time, I was really into God because of what I see him do for my daughter. I was like, my daughter is healed after I prayed and stuff like this. So, that's what I'm into. That's what I'm into now. So sometimes when you get into something, your past and the people from your past they can't get with that. They want you to be like you were when you was around them. But see, the old me was not working, because that's not what I was born to do. So when you're not born to do a thing, it's not going to feel right. And God's going to do what he has to do to bring you to the understanding. Even if you have to use your children, he's going to bring you to the understanding on what you're supposed to be doing in your life. He may not speak to you verbally, but even if he's not going to speak to you verbally, he'll speak to you. He speaks in all kinds of ways. You just have to pay attention. And so when I saw him, I tell you, when I saw him, it was down by the riverside, because I was staying at a place called Riverside. Ain't that crazy? When I think back to all of that, y'all, I was in my 20s when all this was going on. Old girl, 50 now, 51. I was in my 20s when all this happened. So I've been living my life through Jesus Christ. Living my life